My top six, there were just six official Eon production Bond movie actors, and this is the ranking. Number six, we have Daniel Craig. Younger Bond fans, I guess. In most videos I've seen by people that are younger than me. I'm 40 years old. He's the number one, or at least number two favorite actor. But when I'm from the generation, my Bonds were Sean Connery and Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton. And so I was already a Bond fan when Pierce Brosnan and GoldenEye came out, and I was still young in my teens when GoldenEye came out. So I have more of a relationship with those actors on that, fond memories kind of level. And Daniel Craig, his very serious performances and not very, that aspect that people like myself grew up with, Bond the playboy, Bond the guy with the funny one-liners, the ladies' man of leisure. That's quite absent from the Daniel Craig movies. It's more of a traditional action hero, and it's also this, I wouldn't say whiny, but this kind of emotional hero that nowadays every kind of protagonist has to have some relatable emotions, and you know his backstory, and everything is connected. But the Bond movies to me were always like silly escapism adventure movies, that put you out of this mundane world into something more fantastical. And this is absent from the Craig movies, but still, I love the Bond movies. I had two Daniel Craig movies in my top 10 favorite Bond movies, so nothing against him in general, and also nothing against his portrayal. I think it's pretty good, but it's not excellent to me. It's not why I am a Bond fan. Number five, George Lazenby. Used to be the bad James Bond actor for so many years, but then the only movie he made on Her Majesty's Secret Service has redeemed itself. Rightfully so, it's a great movie, but still, even nowadays, people say the only thing that's not good about that movie is him. I kind of disagree. You don't really have to be a Shakespearean actor to be a great James Bond. Daniel Craig is surely a much more refined character actor than George Lazenby, who wasn't even an actor to begin with. When he got the part, he was a model. But that's what James Bond, he has this arrogance, this also physicality, and that's all you need. That's kind of all you need for that part. You have to have some charisma, some swagger, and he has that. The only time in the movie he doesn't have that is when he's stopped, when he's disguised as Sir Hilary and in the kilts, and that's not his fault. He's made to look like a buffoon, so that no one recognizes him for that cool playboy he is, and he's also dubbed with a different voice. So of course those parts of the movie, his performance isn't really good. But when he's playing Bond, he's basically playing himself, George Lazenby, and that's what makes it a great Bond performance. You believe him to be that playboy and that guy who's really into adventures. Number four is Pierce Brosnan. From now on, I would say I'm really a fan of the actors, not just of their Bond portrayals, but Pierce Brosnan has some really great movies. I especially love him as Robinson Crusoe in a TV movie he made. And yeah, he's the right guy for such adventure kind of movies. He's a bit of a mix of all the Bonds that went before. He has the funny quips of Roger Moore, he has the edge of Timothy Dalton, lots of Sean Connery things in his portrayal. So it's kind of a best-of the actors that went before. Maybe it lacks a bit originality in that sense, so that's why he's number four. Number three is Timothy Dalton, and he's in the middle of the ranking because he only made two movies, and it's very strange. Living Daylights is my all-time favorite Bond movie, and License to Kill is my least favorite Bond movie. So in one movie I think he's perfect, and in the other movie he's not the main thing that's bad about that movie, but also his his way of acting and the lines he's given in License to Kill, you know, really don't. It's not really enjoyable for me to watch him in that movie, but you know, his performance in Living Daylights is probably my favorite Bond performance of any Bond actor in any Bond movie. Very Ian Fleming inspired Bond performance. Number 2, the least Ian Fleming inspired Bond performances are from Roger Moore. I think he didn't really give a care about the source material. I'm not sure if he ever read any Bond novel in his life. He made it his own, you know, he gave it his own twist, he made it more fun, he made it more, you know, he was really for that escapism aspect that I really like about the Bond movies. He's all in for that kind of stuff, and so his Bond performances are the most fun to watch, and I really appreciate that. And number 1, it's the original, you know, it's the, if there's one Bond actor with a Bond performance, or in his case with 6 official and all in all 7 Bond performances that are iconic, that are like movie history, it's Sean Connery, you know, from the first moment, from the first line when he's saying the famous words, Bond, James Bond, you know, you believe him, he's James Bond. I don't think it can ever be improved, you know, even the next Bond or whatever Bond actors will come in the future, it's virtually impossible to make a better performance. It's like the ultimate action hero, you know. Dr. No was maybe one of the first real action movies, action adventure movies, you know, where that trope of that hero protagonist was kind of invented, and it's the blueprint for everything that came after it, you know, also the like Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Bruce Willis, everything that came after it, Sean Connery kind of invented it. So that was my ranking of all the Bond actors, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching.